This is the story of how the title of Caliph began in the Prophet's tribe, and how, 9 centuries later, the title was used by people of a different race. How different dynasties rose and fell, ending with the decline of the Ottoman Caliphate. This is the story of the Caliph. In 1453, Istanbul, no longer called Constantinople, was made capital of the Ottoman Empire. An empire that had already made inroads into Christian Europe. But the Sultan, whose remains lay here in this mosque, had a different strategy. Selim I came to power in 1512. 5 years later, he had toppled the Mamluk dynasty in Egypt and tripled the size of the Ottoman Empire.
When the Ottomans conquer Egypt, they take over from the Mamluks, they can claim to be protectors of the holy Muslim sites, Mecca and Medina, and they, if you like, inherit the mantle of being caliphs from this shadow line of Abbasid caliphs in Cairo.
Sultan Selim işte orada şey diyor, halifeliği getirtiyor. Yani bildiğim kadarıyla İstanbul'a geliyor. Bazı rivayetlere göre bu halife devretti ve Kahire'ye geri döndü. Bir ikinci rivayette İstanbul'da idam edildiğine dair. 2 tane rivayet var. Bu 2 rivayetin hangisi doğru? Çünkü Osmanlı kaynaklarında bu konuda elimizde kayıt yok.
The Topkapi Palace, legendary residence of the mighty Ottoman sultans. In 1517, the sultans awarded themselves another honored title, Caliph. Almost 9 centuries after the foundation of the Caliphate in 632, the title had slipped from the hands of Arabs and the Quraysh, the Prophet's tribe.
The Ottomans don't seem to have made a huge amount of being caliphs. And whilst they did claim the title, it was more of an honorific or something that indicated that they were first among Muslim monarchs. So the Ottomans were not initially, in the 16th, 17th or 18th century, really claiming to be universal Muslim rulers.
Yet after a slow decline of 3 centuries, the successors of these great Ottoman sultans would turn once again to the Caliphate in a desperate attempt to rescue their falling empire. Yildiz Palace, Istanbul, the residence of Sultan Abdülhamid II, who came to the throne in 1876. He was a skilled carpenter and crafted most of his own furniture. But as he chiseled and planed, the carpenter sultan was contemplating the gradual loss of territories. By the late 19th century, much of the mighty Ottoman Empire was disappearing from the map.
حاول السلطان عبد الحميد إحياء الخلافة ولقب الخلافة بأسلوب مختلف عن طريق طرح فكرة الجامعة الإسلامية. السلاطين العثمانيون متى لجأوا أو حاولوا أن يلجأوا إلى إعادة وإثارة فكرة إحياء الخلافة والخليفة؟ عندما بدأت الدولة العثمانية تعاني، عندما بدأت تسقط منها كثير من البلاد.
السلطان عبد الحميد خدم الدولة العثمانية في أمور كثير. أكبر شيء سواه الخط الحديدي يلي بيطلع لغاية الحجاز، يعني للمدينة المنورة. كان بده كل الشعب العرب والإسلام يتماسكوا مع الخلافة.
But the Sultan's attempt to exploit the spiritual power of the title Caliph could not save him. In 1909, Abdul Hamid was deposed. Mehmed Rashad was installed as the 35th Sultan of the Ottoman state. And though his coronation was marked by lavish traditional festivals, in truth, he was powerless.
1909'dan itibaren Osmanlı Devleti değişti. Yani Osmanlı Devleti'ni artık padişahlar idare etmiyor, halife idare etmiyor. İttihat ve Terakki dediğimiz bir hükümet idare ediyor. Bir junta hükümeti idare ediyor.
In November 1914, the Ottomans entered World War I on the side of the Central Powers. A holy war in the name of the Caliph, a war that would prove disastrous for the Caliphate. On the other side of the trenches, Western powers saw an opportunity.
بريطانيا كانت محتلة كثير من مناطق العالم العربي. هلا كان بقي عندها ما يسمى المناطق الاستراتيجية اللي هي مناطق بلاد الشام والعراق. ولذلك كانت تنظر انه هذه فرصة لنحقق مقام. وفعلا استفادت عن طريق انها دعمت العرب بان يقوموا بثورة ضد من؟ ضد السلطان العثماني.
And to encourage the Arabs to rise up in revolt, the British too would turn to the ancient power of the Caliphate in the person of Sharif Hussein, the custodian of Mecca.
ماذا الشريف حسين بن علي بصفته من الأشراف وأيضا يعود نسبه إلى قريش؟ جده الحسن بن علي بن أبي طالب، بن فاطمة الزهراء، منصبه أمير مكة، ولديه إلى حد كبير سمعة في العالم الإسلامي مقبولة.
In June 1916, what was called the Great Arab Revolt erupted in Hejaz, a desert region in the west of what is now Saudi Arabia. Under the command of Sharif Hussein's son, Faisal, and with the advice and help of a British officer, T.E. Lawrence, Arab forces advanced northwards, supported by the British, who attacked on two fronts. Within 2 years, in 1918, the joint forces had taken the whole of the Levant and Iraq. In October of that year, an armistice was concluded. The Ottomans had suffered a humiliating defeat.